Hello, this is Wiley from Learn to Barbecue. Today's cook is all about how to sous vide barbecue a brisket. The brisket is one of the pectoral muscles of the cow. When a cow lies down, they're resting most of their body weight on this cut, which makes it extremely tough and full of connective tissues. The meat is a 14-pound Black Angus brisket, and it cost me a whopping $38 at Sam's Club. Yes, that is $2.71 a pound, a lot cheaper than any steak. For the brisket is a whole packer, meaning that both the point muscle and the flat muscle are together. In the diagram, you'll see there is a fat layer that separates them. There's also a small area called the fat cap, and that is where the external fat links up with the internal fat. That means there's a lot of fat there. So the first thing we need to do is remove the fat cap. Now don't throw this away, for some of the best meat on brisket is buried in that fat. As you cut your way following the point, make sure you remove all large chunks of fat. Here on the diagram, section D is the fat cap, and that needs to be removed in one piece. Make sure you take your time and make small cuts that follow the layer of fat. When you are done removing the fat cap, put it off to the side. One thing you must remember, when cooking in a plastic bag, there is no place for that fat to go. So try to leave no more than a 1/4 inch of fat anywhere on the brisket. Now it's time to cut out the flat. Usually when you buy a small brisket, this is the part you're getting. Now you have the flat and the fat cap. Now you can take those two and put them away. What you have now is the point with a little what is left of the flat. To me, this is the best part of a brisket. I now take this large piece of meat and cut it into 2 pieces, so I know they will fit into my sous vide cooking bags. Almost done, just need to get rid of the excess fat. So when you're done, you end up with 1 large flat and 2 points, and now it's time to put on the seasoning. I used to do only salt and pepper, but last year I made a brisket with Montreal steak seasoning and my family loved it. I have to admit, it is now my favorite seasoning for brisket. For those that noticed, I do put 2 coats of seasoning on the brisket. It just sticks better if you take your time and apply twice. Putting these brisket pieces into a cooking bag can be a challenge, but again, take your time and try not to rub the meat on the side of the bag. The technique I use is fold the end of the bag back so the area that is sealed does not get contaminated. Nothing worse than having a bag leak. I don't know about you, but I really enjoy using the vacuum sealer. The food always comes out looking very nice and neat. One thing you need to remember though, is the sealer needs to be set up in moist or liquid mode based on your model. But one thing that is really cool is I do not have to cook a whole brisket. I can put some of this in the freezer, and guess what? I did. One of the points I kept for next month. I set my sous vide bath for 137 degrees Fahrenheit and programmed my cooker for 24 hours. That's right, 1 whole day. After a full 24 hours, I removed the brisket from the cooking bags and then put them in a pellet smoker set at 225 degrees Fahrenheit and smoked them for 3 hours. So now is the moment of truth. This is one of the points, and as you can see, it has a wonderful bark. It also has that wiggle that any good brisket has to have. The knife cuts through the brisket like butter. The meat color is that of a steak that was cooked medium. Now the pull test. These are pretty big slices actually, but look at this. This one here, just pull, boof, breaks loose. This was just so tender and easy to eat, and the taste was wonderful. I even cut one of the slices to show you how consistent the meat color was. Not one area in this brisket was gray or dried out. This recipe takes time, but it is a keeper. This was the moistest and most consistent brisket I've ever cooked. Bon appetit! If you would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And as always, we very much appreciate you watching.